Unit 1. Information Technology. The History of Computers. Torgy Online. When I was young, I used to go fishing with my dad every weekend. Now I don't, unfortunately. I was shocked when I heard the news. When you are reading a When you are writing a single paragraph, consider conciseness and clarity. When we are driving a car and approach a traffic light that turns from green to yellow, we know it will soon be turning red, and we respond accordingly. What is this teacher using? Write a discursive essay about using the Internet. What medical conditions may be treated using complementary medicine? Write a discursive essay about using the Internet. A book about lions. Something should be done about unemployment. Think about who you would like to research and write about. Think about your future career. If you are uncertain, write a list of possible areas that interest you, or the kind of work that you would like to do. Technology is just a tool. In terms of getting the kids working together and motivating them, the teacher is the most important. AI, artificial intelligence, is the technology that will change the world. PC, noun. An abbreviation for personal computer, a computer that is used by one person at a time. Apple seed has everything in it that is needed for it to develop into an apple tree. Many computers have filters which stop people seeing certain websites. Are happier people healthier? In what ways can digital information be used to educate people? Although the country has been focusing mainly on improving its facilities, it has not neglected its advanced medical facilities. Sociologists have been looking into this question for hundreds of years. A new drug will help to treat certain types of cancer almost instantly. What different types of work do people with this career do? Sociologists have been looking into this question for hundreds of years. Thinks that £2,000 is too much to pay for an elephant. Adnan still uses the technique that was first developed by the Phoenicians some 2,000 years ago. First, he pushes a thin metal blowpipe into the boiling hot furnace. My machine, PC, keeps on crashing. King Abdullah University Hospital in Erbil hopes to set up radiotherapy machines, so that cancer patients from northern Jordan will not have to go to Amman for radiotherapy treatment. What does the professor say about filling in forms on the internet? How are you going to present the material on the web page? Take notes on the content of the lecture, concentrating on reasons for studying abroad. I really put my back into it, and I earned an A on the course. Military tanks, a helicopter, and an ambulance are just some of the items that can be found resting on the seabed near the Jordanian city of Aqaba. Athens was the most powerful city-state in ancient Greece. Try to use more than one source of information. This book here is more interesting than that one there. When we were younger, we used to live in a village. We moved to the city when I was about 10 years old. It is believed that language learning can also improve your decision-making skills. It is likely that all aspects of everyday life will rely on a computer program, from how we travel to how our homes are heated. It is believed that such differences between languages have an effect on how their speakers understand events, and whether someone is blamed for an action or gets away with it. It is believed that the Italians were the first people to come up with a sign language system in the 16th century. It is expected that the population will keep on increasing, and by 2050 CE it will be about 11.7 million. It is thought that Qaza Bashir was built to protect the Roman border. As well as exercising the brain, it is thought that learning a new language also presents the brain with unique challenges. It is said that students who study foreign languages do better, on the whole, in general tests in maths, reading, and vocabulary than students who have only mastered their mother tongue. It is felt that, instead of building an artificial sustainable city, sustainability should be made a priority of existing cities. Where was the first ever computer found? The first ever Allia flight was in 1963 CE. Have you ever been to an aquarium? Congratulations to Lucy, who has been promoted today. Lucy is the youngest to ever receive this promotion. Her hard work and commitment to her role has not gone unnoticed. Smartphones were invented in the early 2000s. If there had been email in the 1960s? Until the 1990s, most Jordanian literature was only available in Arabic. School. Mechanic. Mechanical. Architect. Architecture. Archaeological. Psychologist. Technique. Chemicals. Chemistry. Chemist. Characters. In Japan, what task are scientists developing robots to perform? Adnan still uses the technique that was first developed by the Phoenicians some 2,000 years ago. Take notes of any areas of knowledge that interest you and make time to research them and develop your ideas. Competent. Having enough skill or knowledge to do something to a satisfactory standard. Plan the test, ensuring that you give enough thought to areas you find difficult. Do you have enough experience to apply for the job? He said he would return the money, and I was fool enough to believe him. Are 3 hours enough for you to finish the homework? Young Emirati inventor is going to travel the world. What was the main memory technology used in second-generation computers? Members of my family have lived in this house for generations. After you have written your first draft, read it through and check your work. Read the text first to understand the general meaning. Second-generation computers, 1956 to 1963. Third-generation computers, 1964 to 1971. Fourth generation, 1971 to present. One such model was developed by one of the best universities in England. Travel can be a great way to expand your horizons. One such thing is to visit a different country each year. One such school has recently opened to educate 14 to 18-year-olds who have a special interest in working in the space industry. Exotic mammals such as big cats are threatened. Which is the best model in Mercedes? He was so fat that he couldn't get through the door. I ate so much food that I was almost sick. Apart from the rooms in the castle, there are also about 23 stables where horses may have been kept. I give the translation through headphones to other people at the meeting. This means that anyone in the room who speaks Arabic can understand what people are saying. Ward. A room in a hospital, especially for patients needing similar kinds of care. Megaprojects are extremely large investment projects. I joined a larger company, and they sent me on a cultural awareness course. Jordan does not have large oil or gas reserves. Hanging. A large piece of cloth that is hung on a wall as a decoration. Masdar City, which began its development in 2006 CE, will be the world's first carbon-neutral, zero-waste artificially created city. Covering an area of 6 square kilometers, when it is completed in 2025 CE, it is expected to house more than 40,000 residents, 50,000 commuters, and 1,500 businesses involved in mainly environmentally friendly products. (10,000 square centimeters equals 1 square meter). Are there enough shelves to accommodate all our books? The square root of 167 is 12.923. During the flight attendants will serve you drinks. I began the meeting by making small talk about my interesting experiences in China. During the meeting, I made sure that my voice and body language were calm and controlled. Prices have risen steadily during the last decade. Which Arab optical scientist invented the camera obscura? Students who are studying English in Jordan can see what students in England are doing in the classroom while they are speaking to them. London is the capital of England. Whiteboard, noun, a touchscreen computer program that enables you to draw sketches, write and present ideas and talks to colleagues or students. It is used sometimes as a subject or an object in various verb patterns where the real subject or object comes later. It cost £100 to mend the roof. The mending of the roof cost £100. It took 2 days to get ready for their journey. The journey takes 2 hours. Equals you need 2 hours to make it. The flight took us 10 hours. It took her all afternoon to finish it. Use the notes to complete the middle paragraphs. Check which part of speech is needed to complete the gap. Choose the correct option in brackets to complete the following sentences. Spend a few minutes writing down brief notes about your ideas. I'd also recommend studying for 30-minute periods and then taking a break. Divide up the work into web pages. Each group takes one web page. Only one person came. 1,600, 1,600. Calculation, a way of using numbers in order to find out an amount, price or value. Calculate. These calculations are based on the latest statistics. Computer chip, a small piece inside a computer which stores information via an electric current. China curbs exports of key computer chip materials. The U.S. government boosts domestic production of computer chips. In Jordan, The open heart surgery program started in 1970 CE in Amman. What happened in 1965 CE? A computer game is a game played with the personal computer, either offline or online. A game played on a computer, often in which the player takes part in an imaginary story and tries to destroy enemies or save people from danger. Antibody, a substance produced by the body to fight disease. Artificial, made or produced by human beings rather than occurring naturally. Goods, things that are produced in order to be sold. Work in pairs and answer the following questions. Try doing a little English, followed by some maths, then biology, and so on. This way, by changing the focus of your revision, you keep your mind fresh. Preschool and kindergarten education is optional, followed by 10 years of free, compulsory education. The research showed that children who were more able to stay focused on a task, and who had a more positive attitude to life at age 7, were usually in better health 30 years later. The building was designed by a famous architect. The computer mouse was first invented by Douglas Engelbart in the 1960s. Mouse, a small object connected to a computer which, when moved by hand, causes a cursor to move around on the screen of the computer so that choices can be made within the program in use. Floppy disk, a flexible, removable magnetic disk that stores computer information. Smartphones were invented in the early 2000s. Young Emirati inventor is going to travel the world. This is the book that I told you about. They found that in Japanese, for example, there are different words for light blue and dark blue which are not found in English. Are there any jobs which train young people while they are working? She said Tuesday, but she meant Thursday. Look at the photographs. What do you think is meant by the arts? What is meant by trial period? Try to use more than one source of information. Computer chip, a small piece inside a computer which stores information via an electric current. Floppy disk, a flexible, removable magnetic disk that stores computer information.
Could. Describes can in the past. I could run very fast when I was a schoolgirl. I couldn't get the tickets yesterday. Students can then share information and help each other with tasks. If they share information on social media with their friends, it might be accessed by other people, too. Write a 3-paragraph essay of 200 words discussing the advantages and disadvantages of using the Internet. Then share your work with the class. At his death, his property was shared between his children. Remember to be concise and write between 100 and 150 words. At his death, his property was shared between his children. What personal skills, interests, or talents do you have that would make you suited to this career? PC, an abbreviation for personal computer, a computer that is used by one person at a time. A PC is larger than a laptop which you can carry around with you. It's a great antivirus program that is available in both PC and Mac versions.
I knew that the director had researched my business thoroughly before the meeting, so I was prepared for his detailed questions. Why should our community buy Jordanian goods? We bought the house for £75,000. Whether you are buying or selling, our prices are the best in town. I bought my car cheap. £1 doesn't buy as much now as it used to. When was the world's first email sent, and why did it use the @ symbol? In some countries, tablet computers are available for students to use in class. Are some web pages easier to use than others? We won't be home tomorrow night. Living with a family helped to improve my Arabic speaking skills because, while all the students heard Arabic in the classroom and streets, I could also practice it at home. A personal computer is larger than a laptop, which you can carry around with you. Every time I go there, I seem to get sick. How many times did you try to phone her? I called 7 times. Next time you're in London, come and visit us. Dinner was followed by coffee, and then came the speeches. First Jane, and then the others started clapping. The British government. British people are traditionally considered to be reserved, quiet and unwilling to show their feelings. The World Wide Web. www. The web. The system for making information available, anywhere in the world, to computer users who are connected to the Internet. The world owes a great deal to Sir Tim Berners-Lee. Not only did he create the World Wide Web, but he gave it to us all for nothing. I waited until 10 o'clock, but he still didn't come. Until the 1990s, most Jordanian literature was only available in Arabic. After that, he blows the red-hot glass until it becomes more flexible. It was not until 1975 that the civil war started in Lebanon. Smartphone, a mobile phone with advanced computing technology. How have smartphones changed our lives? A car appeared over the hill. In this disease, spots appear on the skin. Her new book will be appearing in the shops very soon. If I don't arrive, by 7 o'clock, I won't be coming at all. Education today. We import more cars today than we have ever done before. Most computers have cameras, so you can also see the people you are talking to. Madaba is the place where most Jordanian weavers buy their raw materials. If they share information on social media with their friends, it might be accessed by other people, too. They wash their faces. Has anyone here lost their watch? In the UK, it is illegal to use a mobile phone when driving, unless you have a hands-free phone. Think about who you would like to research and write about. Think about your future career. If you are uncertain, write a list of possible areas that interest you, or the kind of work that you would like to do. When I was young, I used to go fishing with my dad every weekend. Now I don't, unfortunately. Every time I go there, I seem to get sick. Every student, all the students, has to take the examination. There are 7 days in a week. What career would you like to have one day? If today is Wednesday, then Monday was the day before yesterday, and Friday will be the day after tomorrow. What will you study? What is your name? What career would you like to have one day? What will you study? The closure of the local bus service will make a great difference to their everyday lives. As the population of the country increases, more and more families will rely on the hospital for cancer treatment. What time did the accident happen? I can't understand how this happened. I can see a great future for you in music. It's a good idea to save some money for the future. At some time in the future, we may all work fewer hours a day. The old lady claims to be able to tell what will happen in the future. Talk about a regular family activity or routine from childhood, what you hope, intend, and plan to do in the future, and life in the future. In the near future, King Abdullah University Hospital in Irbid hopes to set up radiotherapy machines, so that cancer patients from northern Jordan will not have to go to Amman for radiotherapy treatment. In what ways can digital information be used to educate people? He's so tall he can touch the ceiling. This machine can perform 2 million calculations per second. Can you lift this box? I can't understand how this happened. By the time we got there, it was already getting dark. He had already gone when I arrived. The new restaurant is unlikely to do well. There are too many restaurants here already. Has anyone here lost their watch? My father sits in the same chair every evening. You have made the same mistake as last time. You have made the same mistake that you made last time. She can do the same work in half the time taken by him. I did the same, Asu. You'll have to get a passport, and you'll also need a visa. The weather was not only cold, but also wet. She wears glasses for reading. I need some new glasses. I need a new pair of glasses. Can you see where I put my glasses? The company was not capable of handling such a large order. He was so weak after the illness that he couldn't even walk without help. Young people love learning, but they like learning even more if they are presented with information in an interesting and challenging way. On the exam, I did even more than expected. Life isn't all fun. Life is full of surprises. They're going to go to Cairo next year. She's going to have a baby. Is it going to rain? I can't see a thing without my glasses.
There'll be a further performance of the Paley next week. The office will be closed until further notice. Until we inform you that it is open again. We need to make further changes in order to achieve our desired outcomes. We have made a lot of changes since you were last here. The government has proposed major changes in the laws relating to immigration. The next decade will see the emergence of new PC technologies, such as AI, machine learning, and VR. It's likely that they will lose the election. Without effective communication, it's likely that none of your workplace issues will get resolved. It's likely that none of us would dispute the fact that we're living in a time of uncertainty. Extreme weather events are 4 times more likely to happen now than in 1970.
All these questions must be answered. All children like toys.
Sissenleithagu Daspect of the organization. The training program covers every aspect of the job. The rise in violent crime is one of the more worrying aspects of the current situation.
I love taking photographs of everyday life. Accidents and small injuries are an everyday occurrence in this job. After the bomb, it was some time before the town resumed its everyday routines. The closure of the local bus service will make a great difference to their everyday lives. Work in pairs. Which of these items are an everyday part of your life or life in your community?
We rely more and more on computer technology. Rely on, phrasal verb to have trust or confidence in something or someone. As the population of the country increases, more and more families will rely on the hospital for cancer treatment.
Talk about a regular family activity or routine from childhood, what you hope, intend, and plan to do in the future, and life in the future.
Our reputations don't come from how we talk about ourselves. Our reputations come from how others talk about us.
Have you ever traveled by plane?
Have you heard the good news? We've got the green light to go ahead with our project. In the future, we will be able to have an operation to increase our intelligence.
Most houses in Europe are heated and cooled at the touch of a switch. We'll heat up some milk for the coffee. The hotel has a heated swimming pool.